So welcome everyone. My name is Julie Lietaer and I'm a founder of Ariadne Innovation and co-CEO of European Spinning Group. I'm here today with my colleague Florence Lotens, who is taking care of all the operations and who will be there also to for some questions afterwards. Maybe some practicalities. May I ask you to keep your mic muted, and if you have any questions during the session, please share it in the chat function, and then we can after the talk we can answer them. There will be some time left for some pranging questions as well. So I would like to start the session with the short introduction of Ariadne Innovation. Some of you have already got an introduction. So Ariadne Innovation is a new startup company launched after the summer last year, which wants to inspire, inform, and connect people in the textile and the fashion industry concerning sustainability and projects. We do this based on new technology. So we want to bridge really the gap between technology and sustainability, and we want to connect people together on our platform Ellie.Connect to grow towards a more sustainable industry. So what we want to do is with these talks, we focus on the aspect of inspiration. We want to inspire the community with technology talks, tech talks, as this session today, but also in the future with tech talks who are workshops based on textile topics. So I would invite you to keep following on the platform what is happening, because there's still some very interesting sessions to come in a few weeks' time. So thank you for being here today. As I already mentioned, you can ask questions after the session. I would like to start with introducing our guest today, Nicolas Vanden Avenne. Nicolas is founder and CEO of the company Ocular, who is actually a technology company that last year launched its brand new virtual selling tool, Xperify, where Ariadne Innovation has already had some experiences with, which we like to share afterwards. So Nicolas, I propose that you introduce the company and the technology to the community, and then we can share some insights on how it is running today. Nicolas?
Hey, thank you, Julie. Thank you for having us. Thank you for inviting us to this tech talk. Before starting off, I want a brief introduction about Ocular. We're not that new anymore. We're in the market since 2002, so we are a grown-up company, 18 years old and counting. We start off as an engineering company for IT infrastructure, but since 2008 we've been focusing on interactive technologies. So 2008 is even before the iPhone was in our pockets and the iPad was laying on our table. We've been experiencing and experimenting with interactive technology. How can technology change the way we do things, change the way we behave? So we use technology to tell stories, digital stories, but make no mistake, we're not a web agency, we're not an online agency. We're doing it in public, we're doing it in the physical space. So we use technology to bring stories to life in physical spaces. Our heritage lies in the cultural sector, so we did a lot of museums, like if you ever went to the famous In Flanders Fields Museum in Ypres, or you've been to Technopolis with your kids, or you've been astonished by the dinosaurs in the National History Museum in Brussels, you've been experiencing ocular technology. So just so you know, from Poland to Saudi Arabia, we've been implementing digital stories in a physical space. The past few years, interactive experiences is a buzzword. Before COVID and Corona was it, everything was an interactive experience. And so we've been doing those interactive experiences a lot. Where in the past we did it for the heritage and cultural institutions, we now do it more and more for companies. So commercial companies that are evolving, that are saying that a showroom shouldn't be the showroom as it was before, but should be an experience. The personal experience is there to stay. As a result of this change in our business plan, of this change in our client portfolio, we did installations for companies like Barco, Accenture, Unilever, whatever, many others. Even Microsoft is using our technology. We are using Microsoft DEMS, but they are also using our technology. But also, we do it for regional companies, like for in our region, like Woodstocks, Ergo Sleep, Ardo. Those are smaller companies, not only the Accentures of that world are using our technology, but we do it also on a smaller scale, where we do real small project till the big ones. To end my proposition of Ocular, we're only 15 ocularians big. So an ocularian is somebody who works at Ocular but has a specific DNA, and we call that DNA the peak DNA. We live amongst the peak principles, and peak stands for passion, enthusiasm, ambition, creativity, and quality. So in everything we do, we handle the peak principle. So this is Ocular, this is where we stand for. Next question we have is, why do we develop Xperify? Why do we move from physical to virtual? And how did everything that passed the last year has an influence on how we will behave in the future in a B2B environment? Although, as Julie told you, Xperify has only been launched as a virtual selling tool since November 2020. We've been working on the technology since 2016, working on technology where we want our installations to be meaningful. We decided to start developing our own software framework. Everybody knows that Drupal is behind websites, Craft CMS and stuff like that. We wanted to have the same flexibility and go to market for physical installations as in the easy way as a website is built. So we didn't want it to start from scratch in a digital storytelling in physical space. We wanted to have a framework where we could build our installations upon. The key components for this framework are personal experience. Why should client A be handled the same way as client B is? Why should your story of your company be told the same way all over again? Then the content management. We wanted to have every content in any language on the same platform, and we wanted to have analytics. You want to know what your visitor does. You want to know what your client wants. Do you have analytics as Google Analytics behind your website? Even in the physical space, we can gather analytics. We can gather behavior on what visitors and clients do in the physical space. This information is very useful and can be used to augment the experience of the physical installation. The physical visit to a showroom, to a trade fair, is only one shot. So what we've been thinking about last couple of years is, how do we do pre-visit and how do we do an after visit? How can we extend a physical visit in front and once the visit is done? This was something we've been thinking about, we've been working on since 2-3 years, and which the pandemic we've got since a year has accelerated our plans to, next to the physical environment, to also bring technology to a virtual environment where we meet people in a virtual environment, not a virtual environment that is a copy of the physical environment, but a virtual environment that uses the best of the online world and the best of the physical world into one platform. We strongly believe that we don't want to replace a physical experience. No, we want to extend the physical experience. We want to take a customer, if you look at a sales funnel, where the conversion from a lead to a client is done in the bottom of the sales funnel, we believe that a virtual experience is there to convert a prospect into a lead. And this is done in the physical world. So to make it really tactile, we see that we have a physical world, and on top of this physical world, there is a virtual world. And thanks to the pandemic, we got a lot of mal things too. But the pandemic gave us the tool or the power where virtual world is accepted. And where we can now have technology in a virtual world, and nobody is doubting about the power of virtual talks. I told you already that we don't want to make a copy, we want to augment it, and we want to implement it in the sales funnel. That as an introduction of how we came to Xperify. I guess that a demo of how Xperify works is the best proposition we can do right now.
Okay. Thank you, Nicolas. Maybe I can share the story of European Spinning Group right now, because that's an actual case where we already benefited the work together with Ocular and the Xperify platform. And as Nicolas explained, it was really, given with the COVID crisis, where we saw the opportunity of virtual and blended technologies for our product business as well. So a few years ago, we developed yarns made of post-consumer denim, which we launched in some kind of co-creation and awareness creation project called Hack Your Jeans, where the ambition was to really create this kind of synergy and ecosystem surrounding this recycled denim yarn. So we believed it was important to inspire the community and show how the production of the circular material was done, but also to show the community, show the consumers what products could be made of this yarn. So we had a challenge because we were effectively also showing these products physically towards the community in shopping malls, at fairs, on small booths which traveled. But of course, with COVID, events were postponed, the fairs were cancelled. So we with Hack Your Jeans team had the same challenge. Okay, how can we now show our textile products, which are still textile products? How can we show this and tell the same story to the community? And there we did some research last year, and there I think we matched with Ocular, because we had the same vision and mindset on how visualization and sales in the future should look like, that it would be a hybrid experience. And we worked on the project together for an interactive booth, but also for a virtual showroom, which I will demonstrate in a minute for this project. So now I will take you with me in the virtual experience of Hack Your Jeans. Just let me select the right screen. Okay. So if all goes well, now you see the skater skating into the future of sustainable textiles. So welcome in Xperify. This is the experience created for Hack Your Jeans. So as you can see, this experience is a kind of a 3D effect of a box where we can display all the information around the project. So very easy to fill in. So we tell the story about why we have this project, the different yarn qualities we have, our vision for the future. So you can add presentations, easily swap to tell your story, and the mission of the Hack Your Genes project. At this time, maybe I should have started with that. I already invited my customer to join me in the showroom, and as I'm doing now with you in Teams, I will be taking my customers to tell the story of Hack Your Genes. So same here, you can add photo material, pictures. There's a little bit delay because we are doing the process via Teams, but in real life it's much faster. And here you can tell also the story about the different products that were made based on this recycled denim. What you see here is actually the screenshot of also the physical product boot, which shows the products that were made of this recycled denim yarn. So you can use actually this showroom also as an interactive map to tell the story of each product. So you can take your customer, or if he has some time to navigate himself, he can also have a look at the different products. And you can add here the additional layer of also the recycling process, because this is in fact a very important story. A circular supply chain is not so easy to explain, definitely in times where you only have the virtual experience. So here as well, it's possible to add the steps, and then to add as well some material, some movies, some movies to tell the story. So it's a very interactive way, quite easy to set up, and dynamic way to tell the story to the customers, but also as we use it for European Spinning Group as well for other collections, as a very important sales tool. So I think it's a short demo of how we use it today. Also for Ariadne, on the Ellie.Connect platform, we use Xperify showrooms to add to product portfolios to tell the story of our customers. And we ourselves, as Ariadne team, we use the showroom just to tell the competitive advantage and the benefits of the platform on the platform itself. Our press launch we did in this virtual experience, so you can talk or record a talk and then show it in the experience, as well as sharing some documents, press releases, pictures. So it's really, it's you know, the base box is really easy to use, and it's your creativity of your own marketing team or the partners you're working with, and really to use it in a very innovative way. For us, I think the key selling point to use this technology, first of all, was the guidance we received from Ocular was really, you know, kind of a match made in heaven is maybe hard to say, but it was really very easy to see that we were on the same line and that we had the same vision in the future. So it was very easy to work with the team to implement these technologies, but also the fact that you know, this kind of blended experiences in the DNA of Ariadne, focusing on sustainability, as well these new technologies supporting a sustainable sales process and marketing process was also a very important factor for us. Because if you see that you can reach your customers without having to travel the world each month or having to do all the fairs, all the textile fairs, but you can offer an alternative and do product launches more efficiently, I think that's a very important factor as well for Ariadne to support this Xperify platform as well. So this is also why today we wanted to take the experience to show what is possible. Nicolas, maybe you have some additions on the cooperation we set up, or the feeling you had, because you took a great chance in working with a startup. You work with big companies, but I think you really created ambassadors for your product and your technology here. So very happy to do that. But maybe you can share some more insights as well.
Yeah, thank you, Julie. Yeah, indeed, it was a pleasure working together, and still working together on new initiatives and new things of doing. What I will do is I will show another few examples of how Xperify can be used in different settings. So the setup you've seen from Ariadne is another way of presenting your company, but I will share my screen just a second. Can be used for training, can be used for webinars. Within a couple of weeks, we can integrate the video as you have now in Teams. We can integrate them on walls. So we could have a webinar box where we are, whilst we are talking, we can share information, interactive information. So we don't have to look at each other in a webinar, but during my talk, for example, you could be browsing information on walls during my my explication. That's more in detail how Xperify could change the way you present solutions, products to potential customers, to potential. We even have a company that uses the platform for HR purposes. So they have their virtual job fairs where their HR collaborators, they invite people to their showroom, and they tell them how fun it is to work, or how good it is to work at their company. We believe that virtual interactions, although we meet now in Teams, but we want to use the virtual world even more than just having chats through video conferencing. We want to use the opportunity at its maximum by combining the virtual connection, the video connection, with interactive information we can share. And we can take them not only in a presentation, but we can take them into an experience.
Yes. Thank you, Nicolas. I think I can concur. So ESG as well will be using the showroom in a few weeks' time, really to show some workers and the factory as well to some young students in textiles who are studying in textiles to sensibilize that industry. And I think it's important to show that as a company as well, from an employer branding perspective, that you embrace technology, new technology as well in the way you recruit people. So that as well, both from a PR standpoint, from an HR standpoint, as from a marketing and sales standpoint, I think there's a lot of opportunity with this technology. Nicolas, you already shared a lot. Are there any new developments that you want to trigger a little bit that you have not shared already, that might be interesting to share today?
But in a short time, so every 6 weeks we have a new version of the platform that is released. Already experienced 2 new releases since you've been using Xperify as a platform. With the next version, so we released last Friday our newest version. The next version will be within 6 weeks. We'll release the screen sharing option and the webinar option. So where we, you can see it in the back over there, but we're building a television studio so we can show you that we can have live talks and live presentations, physical presentations in an Xperify box. So this is the thing we are working on in a short, and within a couple of weeks, is combining more the physical presentation. So we even have clients now that do machinery, garden machinery, that they want to show product information on the walls, and they want to show the real machine through video on one of the walls too. So they want to combine more static information, interactive leaflets with real demonstration of the products in the virtual environment. So this, on the short term, this will be released. What our plans are for the future is, we call it a virtual selling tool. We believe that if you look up on the internet, the hybrid selling tool or the hybrid world, there is a lot to do about it. But what we are working on is the addition of artificial intelligence in two ways. One way is that in Xperify, we're always connected through video and facial expressions. So the way people look at your presentation, the way people behave on a camera, if they can detect students that are cheating on their exams through video conferencing, we can detect if somebody pays attention to what you are telling, yes or no. We all did some sales presentations the last year to a bigger audience where we weren't able to see everybody and where cameras were off. In a virtual world where we want to make the difference, we want to know how everybody behaves during the presentation. We want to know you have to pay attention to person X, Y, Z during your presentation because you're losing the attention of that person. So this is one thing. We're now working on prototypes on how we could integrate that technology into our platform to give the power to salespeople, because salespeople need to convert. They need to just sell and present the company. They don't need to be technology experts. They just want to use the tool and they want to be assisted by the tool to do their sales talk. On the other hand, as we monitor all behavior in the box, so we know where they click at, we know where they look at, we could add also behavioral assistance. So knowing what customers do, detecting patterns in how customers or consumers behave in the Xperify platform, we could assist companies in how they present to potential customers. So also there we're working. To be honest, we're waiting for some Vlaio subsidies, so we're hopefully we'll get them, and then technology will move faster. Even if we don't get them, we'll move on, but then we have to do it on another speed.
Thank you. Wow, that really sounds exciting and very useful as well. One of our dreams we have with Ariadne Innovation and Ellie actually is to create really a digital virtual assistant to guide textile and fashion companies towards more sustainability. So I was dreaming of a 3D avatar wearing the Hack Your Jeans clothing, wandering around in this showroom. And I know we already received some questions about 3D visualization from fashion companies and from home fabrics or interior businesses. Are there any plans of enabling this, or should we just make a movie and put it on one of the walls? What is your insights in this? I think it's relevant for the fashion as well.
Yeah, with the latest version, so we released last Friday. We have the ability to show 3D objects on the wall, so to make an interactive presentation with 3D objects. Yeah. The limit is because we've chosen that everything in Xperify should be web-based, so there's no installation of specific software to have an Xperify experience. that where we have a limit of the browser. Your internet browser, your Google Chrome, your Internet Explorer is the limit in 3D visualization, in 3D experience. But that's one of the things we're looking at. Avatars, yes and no. In a B2B world, we like to have real persons, and we had the feedback from some companies in our user group that avatars are nice a first time, maybe a second time, but if you want to play games, you have to do it in the evening.
Okay, so real life persons then running around in your showroom. Okay, good. I think we already had a lot of information, shared some nice insights. I think it's a great technology that offers so many benefits based on, sustainability, as well as technology forwardness, as well as efficiency just in the operational perspective of a company. Yes, I would invite everyone. We will share the information afterwards to take some additional time, maybe for a demo later on in the future, when everything has all the information has been captured. So we will share that after the session. But at this time, I want to take some more time for some Q&A and questions that you will probably have for Nicolas or myself. So I would invite